And if the key to One Piece was not to wonder where it exists, but when it exists. Today I will tell you what is for me the greatest theory around One Piece, and you will understand. Everything starts with the understanding of what is Love Tale. An island trapped in time, because in reality sent into the future 800 years ago by the former owner of the Tokidoki no Mi, the Fruit of Time, appeared in Wano in chapter 920. We learn that during the Forgotten Century, the greatest war that the world has ever taken place, faced with 20 kingdoms, was the futuristic civilization that we have been talking about for so long. A civilization as advanced as mysterious, because we know that it is involved in the origin of the fruits of the devil. Faced with a boiling defeat, the user of the Toki no Mi would have used the power of the awakening of the Fruit of Time to send Love Tale 800 years into the future, while programming a return of this same island in the past in order to bring back someone who could help them save humanity from this crisis. Love Tale would have been sent as SOS since the past, but in the same way that the red scabbards were sent in the future at a precise date, Love Tale would have also been programmed to appear at an exact moment in time. Exactly 800 years later, day by day. Roger did indeed arrive at the right place, but not at the right time. Arrived 25 years too early, he would have found absolutely nothing at the location of Love Tale. And that would explain his sentence from chapter 968, "We arrived too early." Or why the crew of Chance, in all knowledge of the cause, is now going to his search. Thus finding the island of Love Tale at the right place and at the exact moment, thanks to the poneglyph for the place, and thanks to something very special for the time, but we'll come back to it. You'll understand. Luffy and his crew could once have landed on the island, go back in time, and land directly at the time of the Forgotten Century. They would learn the greatest secret of humanity, while participating in the Great War of the past. This event creating the last arc of One Piece, the Forgotten Century. The fact that the fate of the Straw Hats is ironically in the past would explain Riley's strange sentence in chapter 506, when Robin asked her what happened to him during the Forgotten Century. Even if I had to tell you the whole story here, at this moment, as you are now, you would not be able to do anything. This theory would allow us to develop two things simultaneously, the unknown past and the future of the Straw Hats, which would be in fact the same thing. After this last great war, Love Tale would be sent back to the future, sending the Straw Hats in the present, which would conclude their adventures. And now all the pieces will be packed, so get ready. It is during this journey in the past that the foundations of the work as we know them were built. And believe me, that would explain a lot of things. Luffy created his own legend, that of Joy Boy for some, or Nika for others. A warrior with white hair and red eyes, always smiling and helping those in need. That's why when they meet in chapter 802, Zunesha doesn't recognize Luffy as Joy Boy. Because the Joy Boy from 800 years ago, the one who went in the past in this theory, already had his white hair, because he already mastered the Gear Pi, something that Luffy that we know. Brook would have been the author of Binks no Sake because he transmitted it 800 years ago to the ancient people who themselves for 8 centuries would have popularized it among the pirates. We would therefore know why the laugh of Brook is literally present in the lyrics of the song. That said, Binks no Sake for me, it remains a paradox that I find very cool in real life. We do not know who created the snus. It's too funny. Nico Robin, meanwhile, would have been the author of the poneglyphs in order to communicate with herself 800 years later. So she wrote through them geographic data, and I'm finally coming back to it, no temporal data. That's why there is no temporal data on the poneglyphs, because Robin knew very well that she would live in the good times, and so she would find them the right time. And finally Zoro would have stayed in the past. He would have become a great samurai of legend. And you see where I'm coming from. Zoro would be Ryuma that we saw in Thriller Bark, which he had himself faced. And that would explain all the similarities between the two characters, whether it's their physical appearance, the same hair, the same scars, or their fighting style. Zoro is a banger atomic. I'm spoiling the title a bit, and if One Piece existed in our world,